How could you say that? You are unbelievable!
I'm unbelievable!
You finally hit your goal weight, land the dream job, or meet the perfect partner, and then, almost like clockwork, you completely blow it up. You skip the workouts, you pick a toxic fight, you procrastinate until the opportunity is dead. You probably think you're just lazy, lack willpower, or that you're fundamentally broken. You aren't. You are actively, secretly destroying your own success on purpose. And the most terrifying part, your brain actually thinks it is saving your life. There is a hidden psychological tripwire inside your subconscious mind, and it is engineered to trigger the exact moment you start being happy. There is a very specific, deeply ingrained reason why you ruin everything good that happens to you. And a hidden psychological switch you must flip to permanently turn off that self-destruct sequence. But the root cause isn't what you think. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fear of failure. In fact, it's the exact opposite.
How could you say that? You are unbelievable!
I'm unbelievable! You're the reason this family is
You never listen to me! This is exactly what I was talking about! I don't understand why you're
It is the fear of success, and it is quietly dictating every major decision you make. Think about the agonizing cycle you've been trapped in. You spend months, maybe years, clawing your way out of a rut. You put in the late nights, you do the emotional labor, you finally get exactly what you asked for. The bank account goes up, the scale goes down, or you finally find someone who actually treats you with respect. But instead of feeling relief, what happens? A creeping, suffocating anxiety settles in your chest. The air gets thin. Suddenly you feel an overwhelming, almost magnetic urge to burn it all to the ground. You ghost the recruiter. You skip 3 days at the gym, which spirals into 3 months. You manufacture a toxic, relationship-ending argument out of thin air. And the worst part is, you watch yourself do it in real time. You feel like a passenger in your own body, screaming at yourself to stop, but you just can't. This happens because your subconscious mind operates exactly like a thermostat. For years, your baseline temperature, your normal, has been programmed to stress, struggle, chaos, or rejection. That is what your brain knows. That is what feels safe. When you achieve something great, your internal temperature spikes far above that familiar comfort zone, and your nervous system absolutely panics. It doesn't recognize peace, joy, or success. It recognizes a terrifying anomaly. To your primal brain, the unfamiliar is a mortal threat. It deploys self-destructive habits to immediately drag your life back down to the chaotic baseline where it knows how to survive. You've spent years hating yourself for this. You've tried to discipline your way out of it, treating your self-sabotage like a disease, a demon, or a fatal character flaw. But here is the twisted psychological truth that completely flips the script. Your self-sabotage is not your enemy. It is a highly dedicated, severely misguided bodyguard, and right now it is executing its mission perfectly. To understand why this internal bodyguard is ruining your life, you have to look at how it got hired in the first place. You weren't born terrified of winning. But somewhere along the line, your brain learned a very dangerous lesson. Growing up, your environment taught you that being happy, standing out, or having things go smoothly was inherently unsafe. If you grew up in a chaotic home, peace didn't mean relaxation. Peace meant the other shoe was about to drop. Your brain wired a massive glowing red flag to the feeling of stability. It literally links struggle to survival, and that twisted wiring created a psychological ceiling you smash into every single time you try to level up. Psychologists call this your upper limit. It is the exact threshold of joy, wealth, or love your subconscious believes you're allowed to have. The second you cross that invisible line, the alarms sound. Imposter syndrome aggressively kicks in. You start feeling like a complete fraud, just waiting to be exposed. But imposter syndrome is merely a smokescreen. What is actually happening beneath the surface is far more insidious. You aren't actually trying to fail. You are desperately trying to regain control. When you succeed, you enter completely unknown territory. The stakes are higher. The expectations are terrifying. By picking a fight, ghosting that client, or binge eating after a great week, You get to dictate exactly how and when the pain happens. You are choosing a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. It is a preemptive strike against yourself. You hurt yourself first so the world can't do it for you. And here is the brutal reality. You cannot positive think your way out of this. You cannot outwork it. Your subconscious mind processes millions of data points per second. Your conscious willpower handles about 40. In a cage match between willpower and survival instincts, willpower loses every single time. To finally stop ruining your own life, you have to completely bypass your motivation. You have to hack the thermostat itself. To hack the thermostat, you have to stop fighting the heat and start teaching your body how to tolerate the warmth. The hidden switch you must flip to turn off your self-destruct sequence isn't about discipline, motivation, or pushing through the pain. It is about radical nervous system regulation. You have to microdose your success. If you plunge a freezing person into boiling water, their body goes into shock. That is exactly what your subconscious does when you suddenly achieve a massive goal or experience profound peace. To hack the system, you must deliberately expand your capacity to hold joy, one tiny degree at a time. When something amazing happens and that suffocating panic inevitably settles in your chest, your primal impulse will be to burn it all down. Stop. Do absolutely nothing. Do not send that passive-aggressive text. Do not ghost the recruiter. Do not reach for the familiar escape hatch. Instead, sit right in the middle of that terrifying, unfamiliar happiness and let the anxiety peak. Acknowledge your internal bodyguard. Consciously tell your brain, I know you're trying to protect me, but we are safe now. Peace is no longer a threat. Every single time you tolerate a moment of success without tearing it apart, you recalibrate your baseline. You prove to your nervous system that you can survive outside of the struggle. You permanently stretch your upper limit. It takes immense, staggering courage to let go of the familiar hell you've mastered and step into an unfamiliar heaven where you don't know the rules. But you are no longer a passenger trapped in a body you can't control. The chaos of your past kept you alive, but it will not take you where you are meant to go. You have survived the storm. You are finally allowed to put down the armor. You are finally allowed to win. And most importantly, you are allowed to let that winning feel good.
You always do this. I can't believe you would lie to me like that.
I didn't lie, Alex. Why?
I told you to clean this mess up weeks ago.
Don't you dare blame this on me. You never...
The data clearly indicates a strong upward trend, positioning us well for the upcoming.
But taking off that armor and stepping into the unfamiliar heaven of your own success is not a one-time event. It is an active, daily practice of rewiring a nervous system that has spent decades keeping you in survival mode. As you continue to level up, you will inevitably hit new upper limits and uncover hidden psychological tripwires, desperately trying to drag you back to the chaos. That is exactly what this channel helps you defeat. If you are ready to permanently stop self-sabotaging and master the deep psychology of your true potential, hit the subscribe button right now. Every week, we expose the subconscious roadblocks keeping you stuck and give you the exact tools to outsmart your own brain. Do not let your internal bodyguard isolate you from the growth you finally deserve. Subscribe and let's recalibrate your baseline together.
You always do this. I can't believe you would lie to me like that.
I didn't lie, Alex. Why are you yelling?